Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Radonk Residency with Dr. Purnima. So today we are going to discuss about something very interesting and something that is coming up for all of you guys, that is your MD theory exam. So we are going to discuss how to prepare in the last stage of preparation of MD exam and how to ace the exam when you write the paper and when you think about giving the exam. So we are going to divide this into two phases. First is the preparation phase and other is the paper attempting phase. So to tell you the last minute's preparation or the last month preparation, if you say so, you have to have your written notes or your set of notes that you're going to revise during this last 1 month, because reading from a textbook, reading from a standard book at this time is very chaotic and you cannot remember all of this stuff. So you have to summarize those topics into notes format, and then you have to revise the notes again and again. So as you know that we have our app Radonk Residency and we are providing notes of particular subjects. It is curated from the best of books and best of resources, so you can check that out. But then again, if you have your notes, you have to know some important topics. So if you're appearing for your MD exam from Maharashtra, suppose, so in Maharashtra we have certain very important topics such as cervix, breast. Then we have from radiobiology, we have cell survival curve, or we have oxygen effect and reoxidation. So these are the topics that I know are very important and have been asked many times. So I will revise those topics very thoroughly. So you have to have those star marked important topics that you're going to revise at least 2 to 3 times in this last 1 month. And some lesser important topics, you can revise it only once. Then when it comes to last 7 days of the exams, so there are three things that you have to remember. First and foremost, you have to know what is the timing of your paper. So if your paper is at 10 a.m. in the morning, then every day at 10 a.m. to suppose 1 p.m., you have to study. So you have to keep your brain activated during that time, because if you do not have the practice of studying at that time, or if you're having breakfast, or if you're having a break at that time, then during examination your brain would be in the break phase. So you have to have your timetable set in such a way that 10 to 1 you will study and then you will take a break. So this is a very important point. Second important point is you have to divide those days in a reverse fashion. So as you know that you have paper 1, 2, 3 and 4, but you have to make a timetable that you will revise paper 4 first. So suppose Monday and Tuesday you're revising paper 4, then Wednesday, Thursday you're revising paper 3, then paper 2 and paper 1. So paper 1 would just come before your exam. So this is your final revision. Why am I telling you this? Because as you know that in many exams, the course is not divided actually. So at times there are various questions from radiobiology in paper 3. There are various questions from physics in paper 2. So it can come and you cannot actually argue with the examiner for the question paper, right? So even if there are a lot of questions, you don't have to do that. Only the last 7 days I will study paper 1 and I will give paper 1 only. You have to know about all of the papers and revision has to be done for the last 7 days. So make sure that you follow this pattern for the revision. And third and most important is regulate your sleep and food cycle. So whenever we are in the practicing or the preparation phase, we are very anxious, we are very tense, we do not get proper sleep, we do not get proper food. So don't make that mistake, because you will already be exhausted during the time of your examination for those 8 days when your papers are going. So make sure that you have adequate rest in the first 7 days of your paper, so that the next 8 days you can take on a little bit of stress, take on a little bit of pull all-nighters and go ahead with the papers. And make sure that you have a good nutrition, so that it supports your bodily functions and you do not fall ill during the exam. So these are the important points for the preparation point of view. Then you have to come during your exam. So suppose you have your exam at 10 a.m., then what to do? So before going to the exam, just go through the topics that are very important, and don't try to revise everything that morning or the night before. Just go through some important topics, sleep well, and go well hydrated and well fed during your exam, so that you don't have hypoglycemia, you don't have fatigue during the examination. Second most important point is, whenever you are appearing for the exam, you know that suppose you have two long questions and 5 short questions that are to be attempted. So divide your time well. If you are a slow writer, you have to divide it very well. If you are a fast writer, then you can maybe cope up. So if it is a 3-hour exam, then you have to divide 45 minutes for each long question and the rest of the time for the short questions. Second most important thing is, most of the universities do not offer any supplements. That is, you do not get any extra papers or extra answer sheet for writing your exam. So if you are having a 40 or 42 pages answer sheet, then you have to divide it already. That you have to start with the long question. Always start with long question, because what happens is, if you start with the short question, and if you fall short of time, then leaving a long question is suicidal. You cannot you cannot even think about leaving a long question, because you do not have time to write. So always write long questions first and then go for short questions. Even if you know the short questions very well, even if you don't know the long question, at least write something, leave some pages, and then go ahead with the other questions. Second most important thing is, divide your pages. Suppose you have a 40 page answer sheet, then divide it into 10 pages for long question each, and then the rest 20 pages for 5 short questions. So you can divide it like that. Secondly, whenever you're writing a paper, I will show you one of my answer sheets. I just have a practice answer sheet that I try to write in my MD exam, before my MD exam. So always write your answer point wise. Remember that the examiner who is checking your paper does not have time to read each and every word of what you have written. So if you're writing lengthy answers in a paragraph format, it becomes very difficult for the other person to understand that you know the concept. Rather, go for flowcharts, go for diagrams, go for point wise answers. So if there is a question regarding diagnosis and management, so what you have to do is, you have to write diagnosis, that the patient came in this complaint, arrow. These are the diagnostic. Suppose you are doing CT, or you are doing PET CT, you are doing CBC, or any other blood test. Then you have to write staging, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and management. So if you are making flow charts, if you are making diagrams, then nobody is interested in your theory. You have to write the theory for the length of it, so that you get marks out of it. But the examiner will only see, okay, he knows, she knows, he has written correctly, and give you marks. Whereas if you try to write the lengthy answers, you will not score marks, even if you have written every single thing. So you can go and check out the clinical oncology module that we have recently uploaded on the app, and for each and every systemic answer, we have given a very nice flowchart that you can draw within 5 minutes. Even if you have a very shortage of time during exam, you can draw those, close your eyes and think that I have done my job, and you will get very good marks. So that is what I'm saying, that if you have written long question first, and if there is very little time to write short questions, again the same funda, same formula. If there is a question on cell cycle, then at least draw the cell cycle diagram, draw what are the cell cycle for the cyclins that are required. And if you draw this diagram and don't have time to write, that is fine, you at least get some marks. And don't leave any question. Even if you don't know anything about it, put a question, put the question number, and write at least 2 lines about it. Please don't leave the question because you don't know it. At least write something. So these are slight important points that we tend to miss when we are preparing, or when we are in the anxiety of writing our paper. But when you do this, you will see that your performance can go from an average to above average, with just few developments and few changes that you can make in your paper presentation. And so I think that if we are all aware about these things, we can implement this in our exam, and we can score very, very good marks. And I am there to help you with anything that you require. Please write down in the comments below if you have any such doubts, any such anxiety, that we can help you with. And you can check out our videos on the Radonc Residency app to see how the answer should be formatted, how it should be written, and what are the point wise techniques that you can use. So this is all from my side. All the very best for your MD exams, and let us know how it was for you.